Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribes to my channel. Today we will talk about 14 amazing space and astronomy discoveries of the 21st century so far. 1. Guide to mapping the Milky Way. Astronomy has its roots in mapping the night sky, and the latest and greatest map has been provided by ESA's Gaia spacecraft. Gaia launched in 2013, and since then, it has painstakingly recorded the position and movements of the nearest billion or so stars, allowing researchers to trace the Milky Way's history like never before. 2. The explosion of exoplanet exploration. A slow-burning scientific revolution has been underway throughout the past few decades, transforming how we view the universe. Thanks to the incredible precision achieved by instruments both on Earth and in space, we now know that exoplanets are common around the stars of the Milky Way, and presumably throughout the universe. The Kepler Space Telescope in particular, built in the hopes of discovering a mere handful of planets, delivered a cosmic bounty that was way beyond the dreams of its builders. 3. Cassini spies water jets over Enceladus. The Cassini spacecraft's flybys of Saturn's moon Enceladus, which started in 2005, transformed our view of this tiny world. While passing over the moon's south pole, Cassini flew through fountains of water, betraying the existence of an ocean beneath its icy surface. These fountains turned out to be the source of Saturn's tenuous E-ring, and more importantly, make this previously obscure world perhaps the best place in the solar system to look for life. 4. Phosphine on Venus. This might be a controversial choice, but I had to include 2020's announcement of the discovery of phosphine molecules high in the atmosphere of Venus by Professor Jane Greaves, based at Cardiff University, and a team of international astronomers. Phosphine on Earth is produced only by life, and so as we reported in an exclusive episode of The Sky at Night, its presence might, I stress, might, indicate the presence of life in a location where it was least expected. 5. Methane on Mars. Mars has been the target of more missions over the past few decades than any other object, and together they have told us a roughly coherent story about the red planet's past. We can now be sure it was once a wet world, with oceans and lakes, and all the raw materials for life in place. Yet new questions have arisen, chief among them the reason for the methane detected occasionally by the Curiosity rover, starting in 2013, but which is strangely not detected from orbit. 6. Rosetta explores a comet. Of all the missions I've been lucky enough to cover and to write about, Rosetta is special. The spacecraft's adventures visiting Comet 67P Churyumov-Gerasimenko provided excitement from the moment the spacecraft woke up. From hibernation in 2014 and approached the duck-shaped comet, right up until its eventual impact with the surface in 2016, a moment I witnessed from mission control. 7. New Horizons flies by Pluto. To Dever Allen Stern, the leader of the team that designed, built and flew the New Horizons mission, its reconnaissance of Pluto completed the American exploration of the main solar system bodies. The images of this fascinating and surprisingly complex surface taken during its flyby on 14 July 2015 astounded and amazed the world. 8. Hubble's last servicing mission. After the tragic loss of the Space Shuttle Columbia, Servicing Mission 4 was initially canceled. Determination and bravery eventually led to a rethink, and the mission to service the Hubble Space Telescope went ahead in May 2009. The Hubble servicing mission fixed major problems with two of the Space Telescope's instruments, repaired systems never designed to be fiddled with in orbit, and installed new hardware. 9. Fast radio bursts. When Duncan Lorimer and David Narkevic went looking for pulsars in old data from the archives of the Parkes Radio Telescope in Australia in 2007, they didn't know they were about to make one of the most exciting discoveries in decades. They found the Lorimer burst, recorded in the Parkes data in 2001, which became the first fast radio burst, FRB, to be described. It is now known that these still mysterious events come from distant galaxies, and that they may be the result of collisions of neutron stars, or in some cases, the result of such a body interacting with a massive main sequence star. 10. Gravitational waves, a spectacular triumph of experimental physics that builds on more than 4 decades of hard work. The detection of the first gravitational waves by the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, LIGO, experiment in 2015 provided a new test of Albert Einstein's theories. Open up a new window on the universe and set the stage for what will be a major part of the story of 21st century physics. 11. Dark matter in the bullet cluster. I had hoped that by now we'd have some idea of what the universe is made of. Yet, with no compelling experimental evidence to support what type of particle is responsible for dark matter, alternatives, such as tweaking the theory of gravity, are looking more alluring. And yet, in the last 16+ years, dark matter's effects on the movement of stars and galaxies has been seen more clearly. 12. The Hubble tension. The so-called Hubble tension reflects a stubborn disagreement between the speed of the expansion of the universe, as measured locally, and the one inferred from observations of the early cosmos. Is this a vital clue that leads us to some technical detail of how observations are made? I don't know, but neither does anyone else. 13. The rise in private spaceflight. I remember vividly the moment I realized that SpaceX was going to be a transformative company. Sitting in front of my laptop towards the end of 2012, I watched as the Grasshopper test rocket, a prototype of what would become the Falcon 9, lifted gently off the ground, ascended into the air, and then, as no rocket before it had done, lowered itself gently back down to the pad. Until then, the considerable achievements of SpaceX, including the launch of Dragon to the ISS, had seemed like a useful way of reproducing what governments had been doing for decades. Now the prospect of a truly reusable vehicle capable of reaching orbit promised something new. 14. First image of a black hole captured. The Event Horizon Telescope image of the shadow of the black hole at the heart of the galaxy M87 was an instant classic when it was unveiled in 2019, produced by a global network of radio telescopes. Reveals the complexity of the events taking place in the region just beyond the black hole's event horizon. What do you think of my video? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching my video.